What's up, guys? Doofus Mcdooface back with another unit breakdown, and it's perfect time to talk about Aquas. Why is it the perfect time about Aquas? Because they got buffed again. So I feel like Aquas are going to be pretty damn playable soon, and then they're going to get nerfed. But for the time being, the way I like to play Aquas, I like to start a Fire Ellie. All right, that's how I like to play Aquas. There's other ways to play them, right? You could Poda Aqua, right? You know, you can use your Aquas like that split tank, like a Ranger. But right off the bat, I'm giving you my opinion. I like to start a Fire Ellie. You've got easy 5 workers, maybe 6 workers, and all you really need to be worried about, wave 5, right? You only need to be worried about wave 5 for the most part. Now there's of course multiple versions of the Aquas. So the regular Aqua, it does a channeling shot. It hits 1 and then it hits 2 and then it hits 3. So of course the fewer units, the more damage, but then also the more units, the better damage. So like wave 7 is like the Aqua's best and worst wave. We'll get to that, but it's because there's so many creeps, so there's RNG of, are you going to kill this one, or are you going to leave all of them at like 10 HP? But yeah, so each attack bounces to a nearby enemy. It is ability damage. That's important. Yep. Rogue Wave, Fire Ellie. The way I see it, Rogue Wave is purely an ability damage booster, right? And that's what it is. Rogue Wave amplifies ability damage taken by 20%. They buffed it big. 10% against bosses. Does not stack. I see a lot of people making more than one Rogue Wave. For me, personally, I never make more than one Rogue Wave. Because it doesn't stack, right? It's like sending 2 Hermits. There's no real benefit to it. So as long as your Rogue Wave doesn't die, I don't see any reason to need more than one. Fire Ellies I can definitely see spamming. Each attack bounces to 2 nearby enemies, dealing 30 magic ability damage over 1 second, stacks with itself ability damage, right? And that's why I like starting Fire Ellie. It can carry, you're good early. You can pro leak to 2 snails on 2, but why would you care? You can pro leak to 3 snails on 3. But it's a really solid start, right? Now, do I do it a lot? Probably not. We can check the stats. Do I see any Fiesta combinations with this? Not really. If I'm being totally honest, I know L1 used to do the 3 Aqua start. Oh yeah, see that easy holds triple snail. Easy, so you could probably go 6 workers, right? You could go 6 workers because of how easily that holds. But of course, when you do stuff like this, now they're thinking wave 8. Or sorry, they're thinking wave 5. They could also be thinking wave 8. And they're going to hermit you on 5. It's possible that they would hermit you on 5. So you need either single target damage or you need magic damage, right? But you need to be able to kill it. So I mean, even this build would have something really sweet, right? Something like this could be really sweet. So let's say you start the game with Fire Ellie. You get to 5 workers. Wave 3, you add a Windhawk, right? And your 270 value, that's normal. You push 1 worker, so now you're 6 workers on 4. Now, of course, this is assuming you received Ascend on 2 or 3. But yeah, you're 6 workers, and now you shift wave 4. So wave 4 would be your wave to shift. And on wave 5, you get a Violet. So you do receive a Hermit Snail. You want your Fire Ellie to tank the boss. Okay. Pretty good split here. It's going to be close. Right? You would love to see your Fire Ellie live. And you just leak the Hermit. Right? There's a world where that could have full held. And that's the world we're in. Something like that could be really good, right? Something like that could be really good. Downside, you're only 6 workers. Because, of course, if you receive a send on 3 and you're already 5 workers, you'd love to push to 7. Right? You'd love to push to 7. It's really spewing more stuff out here. Have 2 of those for like wave 7 or 8. But then the more aquas you have, the more flowers you have, the more masks you have, the greater chance that they're going to try to punish you with Safety Mole Hermit on an 8, on a 9, or they just go for the big spanking 10. So that's where it's the importance of having a single target damage when you have any type of AoE, you need single target damage. Disciple, single target damage. If it's early game, Protons, single target damage. Daphnes, right? We could go through every single one, right? If you had Nightmare, that's single target damage, right? Sky Queen, single target damage. Halo, single target damage, right? Gun, although you do not want gun with AoE. Early game, Pilgrim is good on 5, right? You could use Pilgrim on 5 just the same.
Welcome to Nova.
The problem with wave 5 Fire Ellie start and a Pilgrim is you sort of, instead of having the Pilgrim in front, now you sort of have to do it in the split type of way. Well, like to catch the split. You need it to sort of tank a little bit, but you need the Fire Ellie to tank too. And this is just how you're getting the best possible value for your units. Do something like that. This is down so that the boss still goes left, because I do want the boss on the Fire Ellie. And my value is very low here, so 465, just the same. So here I'm going to try to tank with both the Fire Ellie. Oh, this is wave 7. That would have been a leak, by the way. That would have been a leak. So I want the boss to go left. I want some creeps to go under the ranger. Oh. Well, this kind of works. Although it dies. Alright. Well, that was a whoopsie. It's not bad. Right? It's not good, though. Alright, well, we're learning. Why did that happen? Well, Fire Ellie range is 400. Pilgrim range is 350. I guess I placed that in the wrong spot.
My ancestors guide me.
That happens, you know. Sometimes you'll place it in the wrong spot. There we go. Oh, and okay. Okay, we got a little bit of a split, but we're probably leaking again.
My ancestors guide me.
Really surprised that the ranger didn't pull anything. Alright, well, as you guys can tell, wave 5 is a problem, right? All I'm trying to say is when you start Fire Ellie, or if you started Rogue Wave, wave 5 is terrifying, right? Wave 5 is the most important wave to look out for early, right? That's all I'm trying to get out of here. Okay. So have I rambled enough? Alright, so Rogue Wave, you could start it. I don't really like starting it. I only really start Fire Ellie. It's just more my comfort zone. We check here. I'm probably average-ish with it. Or 5 and 8. I'm also 5 and 8 with it. So I'm 5 and 8 with it, but when I use one, 55.4. So I should stop opening it. I should actually stop opening the Fire Ellie. Yeah, Rogue Wave. Also really good with Zeus's. Another good one.
Welcome to Nova.
Alright. Because Zeus's do an ability damage, right? They do a magic ability damage, which is going to be buffed by the Rogue Wave. It's going to be buffed by the Rogue Wave. Alright. But let's go through each wave. I've sort of just thrown a lot of material at you guys. So let me just go back in time to as if I started the video. So, Aquas. If you start Fire Ellie, you're good on 1, you're good on 2, you're good on 3, should be good on 4. You can get tested on 4, right? You could get tested on 4 with Hermit or Dino. But as long as your Fire Ellie tanks and doesn't die, wave 4, it's Pierce. Your tank is fine. You're going to be fine on wave 4. Wave 5, look out for a Hermit. Mass Snails even, right? We'll get to the better sense, but yeah. Hermit into that, you need to have some single target, either single target magic damage or just single target damage. You know, anything to snipe the boss and sort of neutralize the Hermit heal. Wave 6, you're not amazing on wave 6, but if you have your Fire Ellie tank, right? If you have your Fire Ellie tank on wave 5, you're probably not that bad off, right? Let's say you get Brute Snailed here. You get Brute Snailed on wave 6. Fire Ellie's gonna tank at least 2 creeps. Yeah, tanks all 3. And then your Violet catches the split breakdown. Alright. This is the importance of wave 6 now. You want to use as much. Yeah, look at that. Easy. Easy work. Easy work right there. Alright, 505. Pretty undervalued for wave 6 receiving the Brutus. But I did have a Violet. But the Violet is only so good because I used my Fire Ellie to tank, right? I used my Fire Ellie to tank. That was very important. So wave 6, yeah, you're not great. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, you're not the best ever on wave 6. But I don't think you're that bad. You could get Brooded. You could get Mold. You could get Hermited. But if you already have some of that single target from 5, you should be okay. Wave 7, you usually don't get sent. But once again, Safety Mole Hermit into Aquas is always a fear, right? You should always fear the Safety Mole Hermit into Aquas. Most people are going to go for 8. And the reason they're going to go for 8 is because you can't kill a Safety Mole, right? Let's say you've got something like that. Another Windhawk. All right. The problem with the Fire Ellies is, once again, they have no single target. So you can hit the wave, right? But how are you ever going to kill this Safety Mole, right? Even the Violets are just struggling to kill that Safety Mole, right? Struggling to kill the Safety Mole. And then you just leak everything. And that's not that bad of a leak. But the reason we did so good is because Violet on wave 8 did the most damage, right? Violet on wave 8 did the most damage there. But that's also probably due to the ability shot, right? The ability shot getting buffed by the Rogue Wave. So yeah, 8, you need single target once again to kill a mole, to kill any tanks, because most people, if they're going to test your Fire Ellie / Rogue Wave on 7 or 8, they're going to send tanks, right? Other than a Hermit, they're going to send tanks. Wave 9, you are complete dog shit, right? Wave 9, you are awful. And you're going to need more than a Violet to save you on wave 9. The thing with AoE is you can just keep getting hermited every wave. Once you leak once with AoE, you can just keep getting tested again and again and again. Wave 10, completely worthless value. I guess you could say the rogue wave is somewhat useful. I don't agree with that. Wave 11, garbage. But once you get to 11, you need to start protecting this stuff, right? You need to start protecting these dudes. This is where having a cheap T1, like Buzz,
Welcome to Nova.
like really important, because you really don't want your don't want some of your damage, although it's not good damage, right? See, the Fire Ellie's tanking pretty nicely here, actually, but I have no tanks. I have no tanks, right? But yeah, you don't want your Fire Ellie and your Rogue Wave to die instantly. If they die instantly, you lose a lot of damage, right? Like, yeah, the Violet did 3k, but combined they did about 2.5, right? So wave 11 comes. If you were doing a range type of split, you need to now protect for the rest of the game, really. You need to protect your Aquas. 12, you could spam them, but man, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble if your best pierce damage on 12 is Aquas. 13, nothing. 14, once again, you can spam them, but Safety Mole Hermit, you would just need so many Aquas. Now, wave 15, they're pretty good. Wave 15, I've seen L1. L1 used to do this thing where wave 15, he would just have like 100 of them.
Welcome to Nova.
He would just have like 100 of these dudes, right? He would just have so many. Once again, see, I only want one Rogue Wave. 2665 value. Wave 15. And it's just so good because you are both Arcane and you're hitting all the units, right? I don't know if this holds or leaks really bad. I actually don't know. I think I leaked just the boss. I mean, look at the shreddability. Wow. Oh, this is close. 2,000. 1,000. Look at that. 2,600 value with mass Aquas killed wave 15. Right? So wave 15 is probably the last wave that Aquas are actually pretty exceptional. Right? Other than that, I probably wouldn't attack using Aquas late game, right? I wouldn't use them as defense. If it's your only pierce damage on wave 12, wave 14, wave 16, got to do what you got to do. But for me, I would only really add a rogue wave, right? For me, the Aquas just are neutralized by how much HP they have late game. This has probably been one of my longest videos. Okay. Before I end this video, let me check my stuff. Pierce Arcane is the type. Strong waves, I told you I think you're good 1, 2, 3, 4. You're very bad 5. Average on 6. You're pretty godly 7, 8. Just need to watch out for the Hermit Safety Mole. 9, you're garbage. 10, you're also not very good again. 11, I still think you're not good 11 and you're not good 12, but it is still important to keep them alive, right? It's very important to keep them alive on 11 and 12. 13, you're garbage. 14, 15, you're pretty good. 15, you're pretty good. 16, it's the most creeps, right? It is the most creeps. So your AoE is not terrible there. But I really would only advise like a rogue wave. How to supplement weaknesses, single target damage, you know. Zeus's, Disciples, any single target. And then if you throw in Zeus's or Disciples, you're now getting that ability damage buffed. So it's a double plus, right? It's a double plus having something like that. Oh, how to send them. I mean, like I said, Safety Mole Hermit's the best. But early game, I like snails early. Like if you saw way back at the start of the video, I did triple snail into the fire alley on 3. Snails are the best because, well, they're fortified. But also it increases the amount of creeps, right? So if there's 18 creeps and then you throw in 6 snails, now there's 24 creeps, and that means there's a greater chance that your fire alley or your rogue wave or aquas don't kill all the units, right? They leave all the units at less life. So that's what I like sending. If I'm not sending safety mole hermit, I'm just sending mass snails. I'm just sending 100 snails. Yeah, you could brute. Maybe you could brute, but I'm gonna income. I'm gonna income purely with snails for the most part. And a last resort.
Drop dead.
An absolute last resort.
Drop for the abyss.
You could go sorcerer on a fire alley or a rogue wave, right? Increasing its ability damage, right? You could do it. If there's no other spell that's applicable, you could sork a fire alley or a rogue wave. I wouldn't recommend it. So overall, if you took anything from me about this, only have one rogue wave. Look out for boss waves like wave 5, wave 10. Look out for those waves. Safety mole hermit is what you should be scared of, and safety mole hermit is what you should send. And they are pretty good on 15. But other than that, I think that's all I want to say. Hopefully this rambling helps you guys somewhat. Most importantly, they just got buffed, right? So I will be using them a lot more now, and maybe I'll have more coherent thoughts next time. See you guys next time.